Hi, I'm Lisa.
Hi, I'm Mark, and Tully Tours' latest adventure is Key West. Join us for this exciting video. I would like to thank the Key West Attractions Association for the wealth of information. You can visit them at keywеstattractions.org. And I would like to thank Fury Watersports for the use of their map. You can visit them at www.furycat.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tully Tours. We're on our way to Key West. Thank you for joining us again. Anyway, there's 3 ways to get to Key West from Southwest Florida. First one being driving, which if you go from Miami to Key West, it's about 3 hours, and add on your time for when you're leaving, for whatever city you're leaving from. Or you can take the Key West Express. We've done it before out of Fort Myers, about an hour's drive from where we live. It costs about $175, a nice little ride, but a 4-hour trip. This time we decided to leave out of St. Pete's, Allegiant Airline. It's about an hour's flight. So we're gonna see how this one goes. Anyway, we'll catch you at the other end when we land.
If this is your first trip to Key West, you're going to want to stay as close as possible to Duval Street. It runs from the Sunset Pier all the way to the southernmost point of the island. Start your stroll on Duval Street from the Sunset Pier. This is where everyone gathers to watch the sunset every evening. You can have a drink or even have a bite to eat along the Sunset Pier. But make sure you get there early to watch the sunset, because it gets very crowded. Lisa and I rented a scooter and drove up Duval Street. There's a lot to see. It's only 1.5 miles long, but what better way to visit Duval Street than on a scooter? Here you'll see the world's smallest bar, where you can walk in, grab a drink, and of course in Key West it's legal to walk along the sidewalk with your drink. Farther up, following the Conch tour train, we come across Sloppy Joe's Bar and Restaurant. Sloppy Joe's is a very famous bar. It was started in the 1930s by Joe Russell. Joe was a very good friend and longtime fishing captain, taking Ernest Hemingway on many fishing trips. It was Ernest Hemingway who suggested he use the name Sloppy Joe for his bar. We recommend you go in there, have a drink, and look at the memorabilia still on the walls. Lisa and I continued on our scooter all the way down Duval Street. We passed the many bars, the restaurants, theaters. There's a lot of great architecture, and we made our way towards the end where we took a right to get to the southernmost point. The southernmost point buoy landmark is a very busy spot. Many tourists all come and get their picture taken, so you may have to stand in line a little bit. While it says it's a southernmost point buoy and only 90 miles from Cuba, the reality is the southernmost point of Key West is just a little farther up the island at the naval station, but that is not open to the public. After the southernmost point, continue up Whitehead Street until you get to the Hemingway House. He was very productive in his writings during this time. He finished A Farewell to Arms. He started For Whom the Bell Tolls and wrote several other books. Here you can visit his house, his office, and get a good look at where he used to write with his typewriter. Around the house, you're going to notice there are many cats, and these cats are all polydactyl cats. They have many toes, and they're all direct descendants of Ernest's cat, Snow White, and her brood.
I suggest you walk around with a tour guide instead of doing this on your own. It's only an hour long, and they give you a lot of funny stories that go along with your tour.
After leaving the Hemingway house, head up Whitehead all the way to the end. You'll find Mallory Square. For centuries, Mallory Square has been the place where the townsfolk had gathered. Today, this is a perfect place for everybody to see the sunset. There are plenty of shops. There are street vendors. You can go into the square marketplace where you find many different booths and you can purchase all different souvenirs and great gifts.
We're going to leave Mallory Square now and walk along Front Street until we get to the historic Seaport Harbor Walk. Really kind of a cool place to go to. You get to walk and see large fish. You get to see manatees, tarpon. So there's about a half-a-mile walk on the pier that you can pass by many different types of restaurants and shopping again, all kinds of local favorites. Another fun thing to do on the Harbor Walk is they have these little kind of bubblegum machines that give food to the fish, 25 cents to get a handful of food, and you can throw it out and all the tarpon and all the fish start coming. And at 4 o'clock, I think it is, that they have the fishermen come in and they start cleaning their fish for the day, and you get to watch them as they do this, and it's really exciting to watch. And on the Harbor Walk, there's a little surprise for people that might not know this. It's just a little small building that has stickers all over it, and it's Jimmy Buffett's recording studio. And the locals know about it, but unless you're on a tour, you'd walk by and not know it's his recording studio. And as you can see, they're doing a little memorabilia for him as he passed away this year.
At the beginning of the video, we said if you haven't been to Key West, you're going to want to stay around Duval Street, this area here. Well, Lisa and I have been there several times, and this time we decided we want to stay somewhere away from Duval Street, and we did it on a houseboat in Hurricane Hole.
This is Hurricane Hole. It's on the island of Stock Island, right on the cusp of Key West. As you can see, the blue building there is a restaurant, and there's a seating area on the brown upstairs behind the building. There's a store that you can buy all your local things you need. And then there's 7 houseboats that are new to the area. We were getting a lot of questions. People were asking us about them because they never saw them there before. We're going to give you a little tour of the inside of our houseboat. It was very clean. It was very comfortable. It's not the Ritz. It's a different kind of living. We were there 2 nights. It's a very, it's got its own kitchen, it's got its own shower, it has flushable toilets, running water, electricity, air conditioning, it has everything you need. And it's good size for how much time you're going to spend in there. And upstairs it has a little loft if you have some kids with you. The best part of being here was living with nature for a few days. You'd wake up in the morning and here's a video of what I saw my first day waking up. A manatee and her mother going right under our deck. Like I said about the locals, you have iguanas there. The fishermen come in and they're cleaning their fish for the day, and it's a very happy neighborhood place to be. This is where they clean the fish every day, and as you can see, all the birds are sitting by waiting for them to get their fill of the fish. The manatees are underneath waiting. The pelicans are all over. This was probably my favorite part of the whole trip, is being here.
At the Hurricane Hole, you can also rent kayaks from the Lazy Dog Paddle Shack for $30 for a day. They give you a map and they tell you how to navigate through the mangrove mazes that are all located around. So Lisa and I went along there, got in the mazes, and we're really thrilled when we got back out. It was a fun day.
Hey everybody, we're still at Key West on our way home, and I just want to follow up with a few things that we talked about earlier. Number one being, is it the best way to go, driving, flying, or
taking the high-speed ferry?
and what's your vote?
Well, if it's just one person,
Two people.
and you're close to St. Petersburg, it's really easy to fly in here. If you're close to Fort Myers and just a couple people, it's best to take the high-speed ferry. However, if you're around our area and you have more than two people and you're all going to go in one car, the most cost-effective way would be a 5.5-hour car ride from the Charlotte Harbor area to Key West.
Right. But this one was the most convenient for me. It was a total of, 4 hours?
Yeah.
Hour and a half
less
driving
than
to the
that.
airport, hour and a half at the airport, and 1 hour flight.
Yes.
I would say for me, this was my favorite way to go. Everyone, this has been a fantastic trip. I don't think I'd change a thing, and I'd do it again.